It's a little song I wrote and you might want to sing it. Don't worry. Be happy.
Sorry, folks, I just had to do that because it's been such a pain in the butt trying to get this thing working. I just needed something that was going to make me smile, and I hope it made you smile a little bit as well. Thank you for your patience. It's Adair Palmer, and thank you, Amber, for jumping on and helping me get live in the two-person interview, Be Live TV. I really love this platform, but there's some features about it that really could use a little bit of a nudge and improving, but it is still in beta form. And what that means is that they're still testing stuff out. So they're going to be releasing paid versions of it at some point in the not too distant future. So we're part of the beta testing, which means that we can expect bugs, but we can also expect some awesome opportunities to be able to do some wonderful stuff with a platform like Be Live TV. So what we did last night, for those of you who had joined me but didn't hear me a bit like 10 minutes ago, we had in the Facebook Code Breakers group, which is a private membership only group that I run for small business owners that are serious about breaking the Facebook code and attracting customers and clients into their business. We did a talk show last night. So we had several people on. People were sitting in the lobby, and then we had it's almost like, for those of you who have participated in Zoom, there were Zoom shows, what do you call it, Zoom platform. There was like a bit like a Zoom, but it was live streaming into the group. So it's an awesome platform. It's a great resource when it's working. So, and Amber can hear now. Thank you, darling. Thank you for that. I do appreciate you jumping on. You're welcome. If your camera ready, you are more than welcome to click on the link. Let me see if I can get it again. And you're welcome to come and join me. Joe's here with me. Joe is saying, Help Desk 101, have you tried turning it off and back on? Oh, you did, yes. What I was trying to do, Joe, is when you start the Be Live TV in the format of an interview, it doesn't give you an option to select the camera settings. So that's what is happening. That's what actually happens. So now what I mean by that is what I do, I get a drop-down menu, and it gives a default audio setting, and it gives your camera setting wherever your camera is plugged in, or whatever the driver says, that's where it's supposed to go. But with the audio, and I found that it was working fine, but there was something that happened in my computer, and I'm not sure what. One day I had no audio, and I wasn't actually able to do the live streaming, and it was getting a bit frustrating. So a lovely lad from California, I believe, Alfonso, he's with the Be Live community, and he helped me figure it out, which meant that I actually had to go in and manually change the settings from default audio to the one that was actually attached to the audio that was attached to my camera, my webcam, which has been working fine. But then Be Live TV have now recently just changed the platform, and what that means is that the platform is now the drop-down menu says mic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, and I've got no idea which mic is the one that is attached to my webcam. So it's trial and error, and we'll figure it out. But anyway, don't worry, be happy. This guy's cool, isn't he? He is so cool. If you're feeling like you're having a bad hair day, just be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. I'll get him to play us out. Anyway, what I wanted to share with you today is the, actually, I'm inviting you to, Theonie's here. Hey, Theonie. Inviting you to jump on. I've lost I'll see if I can put the link. I've got two screens here, so if I can put the link in my, under the live, then you will. Amber's just sent me a message saying not video ready yet. That's okay. You didn't get much option, really. I just went, hey, I'm here, just do it. Not that one, if I can find it. No. I don't know if it's clickable. Can you just let me know if this link is clickable? I'll put it here again. You can click on that. And you're welcome to come in as a guest and we can have a conversation, because I really enjoy doing that, because if you've got questions that you want to ask, you can type them up and I can share them on the screen and answer them on the screen. Let's see. But if you want to be a guest, you're more than welcome, because I love chatting with people, and it's even more fun when it's a three-way street when everybody's chatting together. So let's just do that. What I'm going to do while I'm waiting for you to make up your mind whether you want to play or not, I'm going to share with you a couple of things. I am going to go over the 10 steps to attracting customers or clients on Facebook, because one of the things that I was doing recently, I'll just go back a step, in the groups feature. Groups are getting a little bit of love from Facebook at the moment, and I think that they're okay, but they're like the last bastion for advertising, or maybe pages as well. But we've got in groups actually a couple of new things. We've got now video cover images on your business page. Let me know if Theonie's going to play. Sweet. All right, jump on. Come in, and you've got it. I'll give you a link. Let's see if this works. Okay, so the new thing on pages, I'm just having random thoughts here. I'm sorry, I'm all over the shop. There is so much happening on Facebook right now. It makes your head spin to just try and keep up. And I make it my business, because it's my business, to keep up. So we've got the cover picture, the cover images on your Facebook business page are now videos. So I don't know if you've got it. I'd love to hear if you are able to get your if you've got that capacity yet on your cover on your business page to put a video in there. If you have and you want to know how, I think Adobe Spark is perfect for, you can do, I think it's between 20 and 90 seconds. I'd make it sort of as short as possible, because people really, I don't think, are going to flick through, but you never know. And eventually I think there will be ads being put on the cover images of the videos, the cover videos of your Facebook business page. So get into that if you do have the opportunity to. Give it a try. It should come up when you go onto your business page. It should come up with a little blue box in the left-hand corner that says you now have the capacity to do a video, and it will just, it's fairly easy. It will just, all you do is do a video in some other form where you normally would, and then you can upload it from your file. If you do an Adobe Spark video, which I've done, you just upload it directly from the file. I just do it from my downloads. Hey, Theonie's here. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I am excellent. Thanks for joining me. I just was been a little bit over the place this morning, because I've been going, oh my God, there's so much happening, and then I've got no audio again, so it's bouncing along and making stuff up as you go along. But the other thing, before we can get into the conversation, is I wanted to share with you a new feature on groups, because this is really, really if you're running a group, it is an absolute gold mine of information. Do you know what it is? Theonie, you'd know. Pop quiz. Pop quiz.
Has it got something to do with about themselves?
Perfect. Yes. When people apply to
when they
come into
request
your
join.
group, when people apply to come into your group, you can actually, there's a feature now in the admin area of groups where you can ask people up to 3 questions. And some people choose to answer it, some people don't. You can approve their membership or not, depending on whether they answer the questions. I'm not going to get too hung up about it. Theonie and I actually are admin on a couple of groups together, and we've just implemented this into Women in Business Adelaide. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Have we put it? It's not in Adelaide Suburbs Small Business Networking Group yet, is it?
Not yet, no.
Okay, so maybe we need to think about that.
Now, it's not, I was reading online, it's apparently not available in every group yet.
Okay.
So the options up there, and I have noticed that as far as adminning the group goes and putting the questions up, it's not available on the mobile platform. You have to do that part of the setting on your computer, on your desktop.
Well, that's really handy to know, because I know we're a mobile society, and I still maintain that. And it's really cool because Theonie's the whiz with the mobile, and it's great to get that feedback, because I just mainly do most of my stuff on desktop or laptop. So to find the differences is really, really useful. Mm-hmm. And there's also things that you can't do, that you can do on mobile that you can't do on desktop. So they're using a mix. If you're a business owner, you'd be wanting to use a mix of both, which I think so you can just keep going while you're out and about. And then
for someone who's not home a lot, the mobile platform would be handy if it was a little more, business user friendly. Most people hop under their arm. Some do.
Yeah, well, I find that when I'm doing the health checks for people on their business pages, and I send it through to them I usually message it through on the business page inbox, and they go, I can't access it. But I had no idea for a long time that people were trying to access it on their mobile devices, and it just isn't accessible. They can't even see it on their mobile device. So little quirks, people, just be aware of it. So the other thing I wanted to mention about groups, before I'll go back to the questions in groups, there's also a new feature being rolled out called units, and which means that Facebook is looking at moving towards being an online learning platform. So they've got Google Classroom, and there's Udemy, and there's all sorts of different platforms out there that you can actually do teaching and learning on. But Facebook have just started rolling out, and I think it's just a few groups at the moment. It's called units, and but your category has to be set to, I think it's school or classroom in your category.
Yeah,
in your group.
I've noticed a couple of the groups I'm in have changed to school or classroom, probably because of that.
Yeah. So if you are an educational business owner, or if you run a group that's all around education and you would like to get some of your learning. So I actually run a couple of groups, and it's the Code Breakers and also the 747 Accelerate, which is a week-long course, which is all done through a Facebook group, and also emails. But that course you'd be able to, with the units, be able to plug that in. So, and you can't progress apparently to the further units until you've finished the first one. So that's still being tested. So I'm really quite excited to see what's coming out with that. So awesome. The other thing we're talking about the questions in groups. Hey?
Tina. Anything, I'm listening.
Oh, okay. We've got Tina. Tina. Hey, Tina, how are you? Tina is, she was on with David Burrows and myself. Now, what was it? Wednesday night? What's today? Friday. Tuesday night for you, Tina. We're just saying that what's not available on all groups is the capacity to put questions into groups when you're actually looking for to find out what groups are, what people that want to join your groups are looking for. That's actually a gold mine. And also, if you want to do some online education and learning in your group, there's a new feature coming out called Units, but you must have your group set to classroom or school or classroom. So Tina's saying yes, Tuesday. Tina's actually, she's in the US and she does a heap of amazing stuff in the community. We're having a discussion about about posting and the number of times that you post on your page. What's a good amount of time to post and how many is not? And for the industry that I'm in, we're looking at around between 7 and 15 posts a week as rule of thumb. You could do more, you could do less. And with the algorithm tweaks, it's actually more is not better. And Theonie and I have had these discussions that promotional is not better. Did you want to make a comment about that?
Nobody wants to see that. Yeah, because the way I see it with that is the junk mail that gets delivered in my mailbox goes straight to the bin. I don't even open it.
That's a brilliant analogy. A brilliant analogy. That, you know, I actually voted in it.
I don't actually open it. I used to.
And I actually voted in the local council elections this year because one girl bothered to knock on my door and introduce herself. And when I got
Really?
that's absolutely true. And when I got the election papers, I told her I would vote for her because she'd bothered to get off her butt and go around or knock and talk to people. And then I sent her a text message saying, "Hey, Mary, I voted for you like I said I would." And Amber's saying, "Me too, I hate junk mail." And Tina is saying she's got units in only one of her groups so far. So it's being rolled out and we're not quite sure what's coming when or where. But really, really interesting about that connection stuff. So, and one of the groups that Theonie and I run is called Adelaide Suburbs Small Business Networking Group. We don't have the questions available in that at the moment, as I believe, but we'll go and check.
Yeah, I haven't tried in that one because, I'm usually on the mobile app. I haven't sort of played with it.
I'll go and have a look. But what I wanted to mention about that was that what we do is we meet fortnightly. So we try and make what's in the community the same as what you get when you're on Facebook. So we try and to as much as humanly possible have some sort of, what's the word, synchronicity or so that consistency, so that you come to the group and you're getting the same sort of interaction, you're getting the same level of connection as what you are when you go to the network meeting when we physically meet. So
yeah, there's another group I'm in. It's based in the US, and there are 27,000 something members in there, and he's just switched on that question for when you're joining the group. And he said that he took a screenshot of an answer that someone put up, and it was basically asking why they wanted to join the group. And he didn't approve their membership because going on how they responded, he could tell that they were just going to be spamming the group and, you know, they weren't in line with what the purpose of the group was, so he didn't let them in. So it'd be good in that respect. So you're going to have, because I think you'd rather have 100 members who are active than 27 who are not.
Yes, absolutely.
Like 27,000 who are.
It's a great opportunity to is a great gold mine. If you're a business owner and you're building a tribe, that actually is a bit of a self-selection tool. I remember I went to a group. I can't even remember the name of the group, but they had the 3 questions. This was probably 2 months ago, and I went to join it, and they had the question. It wasn't a question; it was a statement saying, if you think you're going to join this group just to promote yourself, you can think again. And I went, ew, I don't want to be part of that group.
That gets you. No.
Sorry.
It starts on the negative.
Absolutely it does.
Starts on the negative.
Absolutely it does. And it's like, well, and like if you're a business owner, Joe from Rebel Web Solutions is saying content and substance is king and queen. Absolutely. And Tina is saying, have you noticed items being marked spam in your groups that are not spam? In our Be Livers group, video posts by our moderators are being marked tagged spam. Hey, Tina, are you able to... I was just going to ask Tina if are you camera ready? Do you want to jump on? But you go on.
Yeah. I know. I've noticed. I haven't seen posts be marked as spam, but I've seen people who request to join. I've seen them flagged as potential spammers.
Yes. I get several of those in my social media for small business owners group. Yeah. So
is Tina ready to go in? Because I'll go out.
I just asked her if she wants to. I'll send her where do I get the link from now?
Copy it out of copy the message you sent me.
Yeah, I could do that. I'll send you the link, Tina. If you want to jump on, you're more than welcome to.
I'll get out now so she can jump on. Nice chatting with you.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. Let's see if I can find Tina.
Bye.
Hey. Tina, where are you? Let's see. I shan't be long, people. I need a wingman. Let's see if we can get you on here. Oh, that would be awesome. Awesome. I was saying that Tina, and we're nearly out of time, but because we started a bit late, I'm happy to go about 5 minutes over time. But what I was saying before that Tina, there we go. See if I can do that one. Tina was very, very active in her local community. There you go. I think that link might work. If you want to come on, you are more than welcome. It'd be awesome to have a chat with you. Tina is saying in her local community she was working with funeral directors and live streaming funeral services. So got lots of ideas from talking with Tina and David Burrows. David's got the TVSN, which is the video show network, and he is very, very active in his local community. And I think it's a brilliant platform to bring what's happening in your local community through Facebook and YouTube to get like lots and lots of people. You can get lots of exposure and lots of support for your local community. So while Tina is thinking about, hey, here she is. There we go, Tina. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I just want to share we were talking about the questions in groups. I was going to talk about the 10 steps to attracting clients, but what I'll do, because we're pretty much out of time, we've got a few minutes, but I'm going to include the link when the broadcast is finished so people can actually download the free guide or free ebook and have a look at the 10 steps for themselves, because this has been so much more fun just instead of me talking, interacting and having people like yourself and Theonie jumping on, and just that surprise factor. I think it really does test you to go, all right, well, what's going to happen next? So, and if I ever don't know what to do, I'll just grab my thing and go.
That works. That's adorable.
He's going to play us out. You know the song, Don't Worry, Be Happy? Mm-hmm. I do have 3 questions that I ask people that join my groups, and I've just started doing it. I was just a bit sad that there wasn't some magic spreadsheet that automatically captured the answers when you approve people's membership. But I want to show there was 3 things that I asked people, and I love your opinion on this too, is I asked people their reason for joining, and that's obviously looking for people's motivation. I asked people what their expectations are, so that's looking for what they're expecting to get out of the group, and also I ask people what their number one challenge for their business is with relation to social media. And I've actually started as I'm like my admin. I'm such a cool admin person. I'm getting an intern to to come and help me with admin and that type of thing. So, and setting up systems. But this is one of the things that that it is a gold mine of information. So if you're asking the questions, find some way to collect the answers.
Have you tried looking at If This Then That? Are you familiar with that platform?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'll put a link in, and it's called If This Then That, and simply you set up, so you tell it, if this happens, then that happens. And so I don't know if you can connect it to the questionnaire because it's a new feature and I haven't tried it, but with live video and stuff, so I can say, if a live video post on my Facebook page, then send it to Twitter. So you can set up pathways using the system.
Oh, wow.
May be able to use that, and you can. One of the choices is sending it to a Google spreadsheet.
Yes.
Stephen Healy, who is a gentleman that's a very active live streamer, he is like a genius with If This Then That. He has his live stream set up so that when they go live, it pulls it into a spreadsheet with the live link, so that he has a spreadsheet of every time he's ever gone live. And so if he's produced evergreen content during his live broadcast, you can just go through that spreadsheet and pull it right out.
That is a golden nugget right there. Thank you, Tina. Thank you. That's brilliant.
If you can't use it for this purpose, you can most certainly use it for other things. So
I think that is excellent. There's so many cool resources out there, and it's funny that you just go, what? There's, even if I can't use it for that, there will be a time, because otherwise, to me, it's I'll be collecting the information one way or the other, because I think it's absolute gold mine. So,
and if you can automate anything, within in this system, then that's amazing, because we have so many things that we're juggling in social media, especially if you specialize in more than one medium, right? Exactly.
And doing this really isn't that productive. It's not a good use of my time.
Exactly.
Intern, VA, there's a whole heap coming down the pipeline. But I think that those resources are brilliant. So, and Theonie, she's saying that's so useful. So we'll just go. She says, that's so useful. And then, here we go. Theonie the smart ass. If you can't use it for this, you can use it for that.
Exactly.
We'll pay that one. We'll pay that one. Well done, Theonie. And Amber is going, that's great.
Well, I hope you all find some use out of that, because I'm always looking for a way to automate things. I'm a list maker too, though, so I have my paper list over there just like you do.
Yes.
I have all this technology around me, and I'm still writing it on paper.
I think there's something psychological about using a pen and paper and the connections with your brain cells and your neurosystem. So,
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
Tina, you were saying there's items being marked spam in your groups. Now, I actually haven't noticed that. So did you want to share your experience a bit with that?
Yeah, it's really strange. The first time that we noticed it was actually when something that I posted was flagged. And so we had a live broadcast coming up, and I had scheduled it to show, for the time. And it didn't show up in the feed. And I'm like, where did it go? Well, it had been marked as spam. And so, of course, we approved it and put it over there. And then today we had another moderator's post be flagged as spam. And we're moderators of the group. So it's interesting to me, as a group, you would think that anything that's okay with the moderator should be fine, right? Because we're not talking the feed, we're talking a group. So I don't know what's going on with Facebook. I don't know if they're tweaking their algorithm or what they're doing, but strange things are happening.
The strange things are happening, absolutely, and it's like, hang on for the ride, and try not to get too upset about it, because that's part of the as a hypnotherapist, I love the understanding the 6 human needs that we have. There's certainty, variety, things like connection, significance. There's a whole heap but I love the variety, and I think if you are somebody who loves certainty, but you know that you're going to get the same thing every single day, this is going to be a scary as shit place for you to be.
Yeah, this is not the place for you. This is not the profession for you in particular. But no, I love that too. I love the variety, and I love the fact that it changes often, and I get to learn new things all the time.
Yes.
I mean, it's frustrating on the side of trying to explain things to your clients sometimes, and that we have no control. You know, we're at the mercy of Facebook. If it decides that feature is going away and it was doing great for your business, I can't do anything about it.
Yeah, I know. It's all, you know, it really is. It's funny because sometimes they attribute you to being that close to Facebook because you teach them it.
Yeah, I wish.
So I would love to share just maybe one more minute, because I will go shortly, but your experience with working with the funeral home, because I actually found that really fascinating.
Yeah, well, and I think it's interesting to me that anytime I tell someone that that's my niche is the funeral industry, and they're like, you know, funerals, what in the world does that have to do with social media, right? But funerals have always been about community and about gatherings. They're social by nature. So I think that it makes perfect sense that they're on social networks. Actually got one of the first funeral homes on Pinterest was one that I put there. And my client, you know, asked me, what in the world are we going to put on Pinterest? And I'm like, food, floral arrangements, headstones, funeral attire. What do you wear to a funeral? There's like a million things that came to my mind immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we were actually working with a guy, Trevor, his name is, and he's a celebrant, but he's not attached to a funeral home. But something like that, to have that in your repertoire, to be able to say, look, I can bring to your family this whole social media package. And like you were saying when you were talking to David the other day, was that people who can't make it would really, really appreciate having the presence being. In fact, most funerals, I believe, get videoed anyway. My father, he passed away a few years ago, and his funeral was videoed.
Right.
And I think, well, live streaming it is like you say, that people live stream weddings and maybe not births, but shortly after births.
They've live streamed births before as well. But, you know, I think where people get confused is that this is typically, I'm sure there have been, you know, that there are always exceptions, but typically this is not a broadcast that goes to the, you know, to my client's Facebook page. It's something that's posted private, and it's by invitation only. And so it's not like strangers are watching your services. Yeah. But, you know, we had, and this is like far more bizarre to me than having a presence on social media. There's a funeral home in Memphis, Tennessee, and I live in Tennessee, that has a drive-through window for the funeral home.
What?
You can drive up to the window and like pay your respects and drive on out. I don't know.
Oh my Lord, that's taking it to a whole new level.
Yeah, that's a little strange. Even, you know, in my opinion, that's much more kind of a weird thing to do. But yeah, I mean, we actually are seeing just in the last, I'd say, year or so, we get a lot more initial contact through the Facebook page. So when there's a death in the family, instead of the traditional phone call you get at the funeral home, we'll get a message through Facebook and say, you know, my grandfather has passed away. What do I do now? And so we get that message through social media. It's, people are just, it's such a part of our life. We're so ingrained in social. I don't think that people really think anything about it anymore. I think any business can be online. No,
well, I mean, I think found out my daughter was going to hospital for surgery on her knee through Snapchat. So
exactly.
Bless you, Jay. Well,
one of the things that we do that is a problem, and I've seen some really great articles. In fact, there was about 2 months ago, there was a really good article on this topic that I shared on some of my clients' pages, and that article reached like 10 or 12,000 people on every one of the pages that I posted on it performed that well. And it was, and the title of it was, "Before you write RIP again on social media, read this." And so it was talking about etiquette and about giving people space and time to grieve and not to like bombard them with this, you know, rest in peace and all this stuff. So you wouldn't like in person in real life, and people need to think about this. How would you do this in real life? If you wouldn't, then don't do it on social media either. But if you saw a grieving mother, would you and 300 other people all of a sudden run up to her and say, "I'm sorry that your son died, you know, RIP"? No, you wouldn't do that because it's overwhelming. And so it's a really good article. And really that's the only kind of issues that we see that are kind of, you know, make you cringe is that. And then people taking selfies at funerals is a little strange for me too.
Yeah. I guess we're in a whole different space, aren't we? You know, it's like, well, here's me and there's the coffin. And it's like,
exactly.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if you're taking a picture with like some people at the funeral, because you see people you haven't seen in years, right, at funerals. Yeah. So if you're taking a picture with your cousin you haven't seen in 2 years, okay, that's cool. You don't even have to tell us you're at the funeral, but don't take one with the deceased behind you. That's not cool. So, so those things to me are the things that, you know, I just shake my head at. But as far as using social media for this industry, to me, it makes perfect sense because it is just about community, and that's what we do.
Absolutely. I think there's a brilliant platform, and if it's used, I don't know if you were on when I was talking to David, I said I'm writing a blog post at the moment. My background is community development, and I'm actually writing about having a community development approach to what we do, and you've got that, you've nailed it. And what we're doing here on Facebook as small business owners, not a marketing approach. It doesn't work anymore. So it's about that.
Building relationships. And I come from a background in digital media. I started building websites, seems like 100 years ago, but back in the 90s. And then it was also about building communities. And so you built a website, or you had a Yahoo group, or, you know, you had a bulletin board back in the day, and you built a community around a subject or a subject matter of some sort. Yeah. And then I also have a background in journalism, which is also about community building. So I think it's because of the backgrounds we come from, the approach that we bring to it. So I don't necessarily have a background in marketing. I've been doing it for a while now, but that's not what my training's in. My training's in mass communication. So,
and that's around, like you said, community. Well, I've really run over time, but absolutely it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for jumping on. You've really enriched the experience for me today, and I really appreciate that.
I appreciate you inviting me on and taking a few minutes over your time. So
that's awesome, and thank you to Amber for helping me get started, because one of the things with BeLive TV platform is that if you've got a two-person interview, I don't always tee people up. I'm just hoping that it'll be some random walking past that I can snaffle and say, "Hey, jump on," so I can do. And when I started this morning, I actually clicked the link and put myself on as the second person, but I had no audio, so I had to shut down that show and restart again. But so Theonie, thank you for jumping on as well. And she's saying. Amber's saying, thank you, that's great, Tina. And Theonie's saying, thank you, interesting view into what's happening. It's just,
And if you don't mind me taking one more second, because we're talking about the BeLive platform, we just launched the day before yesterday a new program, and it's called BeLive in 5. And there's a free Udemy course on how to use BeLive. It walks you through the whole everything, all the mechanics. Yeah. And then there's a Facebook page called BeLive in 5 where you can go and request a mentor, and a free mentor. I'm one of the mentors. We will mentor you one-on-one and get you using this platform. So come and join us. This is fun.
I'll be there because I want to know. And I know I didn't realise that you're a mentor. You might have been mentioned on Tuesday night, but I know David said he was the mentor. So
yes, he is.
The only saying, shut up and sign me up.
I'll drop a link in the comments, and
that would be awesome. Thank you so much, Tina. You have a lovely evening.
You too.
I'll go and enjoy the rest of my day. Planning for a workshop tomorrow. I'm doing face-to-face. So And I'll put a link to the 10 steps to attracting clients in the comments as well, so you can grab your copy, and I'll play us out. So, all right, see you later.
Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it, don't worry. Be happy.